Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond Compare Wrestling.
Thank you for joining us here tonight. Kicking it off straight away with action, we have Hard Limit taking on Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy in a tag team match. Huge night here on BCW TV. Our main event will be a fatal four-way match to determine a number one contender for the BCW World Heavyweight Championship. Plus we got a bunch of huge matches that we're going to get to, but big clothesline out of the corner there. But we're kicking it off with Hard Limit taking on Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy. As we saw from the video package, Benson Hicks was brutally attacked by Dirty Don and Hard Limit last week. And 2 weeks ago at the pay-per-view, it was Dirty Don taking on Byron Cassidy, with Dirty Don in that shady power outage maneuver that Hard Limit and Dirty Don perpetrated on him. Came up short on winning the world title, so both Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy have some big heat with Hard Limit, and they're getting the opportunity to take him out here tonight. We're going to see if they can do a tag there. Now we see Byron in the ring, and leading up to the pay-per-view, it was Byron Cassidy and Sweetcox. And Byron Cassidy got the best of him on a few occasions, submitting him, knocking him out. So it's a smart maneuver for him to tag out to the Tool. Byron Cassidy has been really the kryptonite for Sweetcox. So we're going to see if the Tool can fare any better. Byron Cassidy, he looked amazing in that world title match at the pay-per-view against Dirty Don. He has a really good BCW record. He's won by submission, pin, knockout, and hanging the Tool up there on the top rope. Byron Cassidy is legit. His credentials are outstanding. We've seen in a video package early on in BCW, he trains like a madman. He's got the body to prove it. He's got all the skills. And speaking of skills, we got Benson Hicks here in the ring, firing those knees right into the face of the Tool. And Benson, when it comes to skills, he's got the boxing background. He's the unofficial Texas bar fighting champion. So he might not be the most technical, but he swings with all he's got. Going for the cover there, only a 2. So a bit of a tag team grudge match to kick off tonight's BCW action. Of course, as we seen last week, Dirty Don paid the fine for Hard Limit, allowing them to keep their jobs because for all intents and purposes they were fired. They were gone. They did not make even close to enough money to pay their fine. And the big elbow drop, the red, white, and bruised. And he goes for the pin. Can he get it? I think Sweetcox is right there on him. So as I mentioned last week, Dirty Don paid the fine for Hard Limit. Going into this episode of BCW on week 12, we thought we wouldn't even be seeing Hard Limit. We thought they would be fired, they would be gone. But Dirty Don came and swooped in right at the last second, said that he would pay the $50,000 fine. Dirty Don definitely not hard up for money, winning that $100,000 for winning the world title. And then just a few weeks after that, defeating Adam Ace, where he put up and a big reversal there, where Adam Ace put up $100,000 of his money that he won by winning the World Tag Team title. So Dirty Don's got over $200,000, so $50,000 to pay a fine is really a drop in the bucket for him. So we're going to see what transpires with Dirty Don and his new bodyguards. They're already paying dividends, as here they're going up against Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy, two men that have beef with Dirty Don. So Dirty Don said he's going to get his money's worth out of them. That was a quote from last week. Tag there to Sweetcox. Oh, all the power there. Sweetcox has about 40, 50 pounds on Byron Cassidy, and he used all of it there. Oh, and a brutal shot there. And speaking of brutal maneuvers, going for the punches there, right into the submission. Byron has submitted Sweetcox before. And Sweetcox knows that, and he rolls out. But Byron Cassidy playing no more Mr. Nice Guy by using that top rope. Now he's going here. Is he looking for the Butcher's block? Or perhaps a big knockout shot? No, he's going for the Butcher's block. His signature maneuver. Boom! Oh, and the tool missed. Error there. I don't know if he tripped or he just missed, but he did not break up the 3 on that one. Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy come out with the win. Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy, a tag team that's never tagged before. They're 2 singles competitors that tagged up here tonight through their mutual hatred of Hard Limit and Dirty Dawn. But they're so adept as singles competitors and so focused in a common cause of just wanting to win this match that they pull out the victory against an established tag team.
Here is your winner via pinfall, The Butcher, Byron Cassidy.
Oh, what's this? After the match, it looked like, oh, a huge shot there. Looked like Benson and Byron were going to celebrate as they were having their names announced, but Sergio Gomez, I could see him having still beef with Benson, but why'd he come out here and attack Byron? And a big 2 shots to Byron. Byron is out. Might just been a shot that he wasn't expecting. What has he got here? And now a steel chair. Oh, just wearing him out. What is Sergio Gomez's beef with Byron Cassidy? Alright, in our next matchup we have Liam Connors taking on Fancy Dan. We saw last week after Fancy Dan's match, Liam Connors was upset that he lost. Liam Connors felt that he should have been in that Champions Challenge match against Dirty Dawn, and he's looking to rectify it here tonight. One-on-one match, Liam Connors, Fancy Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liam No Honor Connors.
Liam No Honor Connors, for anyone who hasn't seen him here yet in BCW, he has a MMA style of wrestling. He has those kicks, he has those punches, he has those submissions, he's got the hands, and he's going to look to use it here tonight. He's got the arm brace, he's got the leg braces, but that's not from injury. He uses those for grip, so he can grab you like an anaconda and throw in those MMA submissions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fancy Dan.
And here we have Fancy Dan. He came up short last week in that Champions Challenge match against Dirty Don. With 1 second left, he was forced to tap out. But that whole match, he looked damn good, able to keep up with the champ. That's got to be, even though he came out on the losing end, that's got to be a huge confidence boost to him. Alright, we are kicking off this match here, a bit of a friendly grudge match, I would call it. We got Liam Connors taking on Fancy Dan. Liam Connors last week said that he felt that he should have been in that Champions Challenge match that Fancy Dan had. Of course, at the BCW Breakout pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, it was a triple threat match between both these two men and Pedro Loco, where the winner would face Dirty Don in a Champions Challenge match. Now, Fancy Dan in that match pinned Pedro Loco. Liam Connors was the odd man out. He was not pinned. He was not submitted. He technically really didn't even lose the match as Pedro Loco was pinned, so Liam Connors was a bit upset on that. Fancy Dan didn't come out on top, did not beat Dirty Don, and Liam Connors thought he could have done a better job, so he's here tonight to try and prove that. Bit of a friendly grudge match, I guess. These two men not really enemies with each other, but at the same time, if you're getting called out, if you're getting challenged to a match, there's got to be some heat somewhere. And a beautiful move there to the arm. Beautiful roll through. This match could go quicker, it could go all night. These are two young, up-and-coming competitors. So they're young, they got something to prove. And speaking of something to prove, off the top, oh! Got him with that elbow drop, well seated. And he goes for the pin, rightly so. You got to get the cover. Only one count. You got to try and go for the cover when you hit a brutal maneuver like that. But both these men, not a lot of experience in wrestling, only a few years experience each, but both with wildly different styles. Fancy Dan going for that fancy style, a little bit of showmanship, whereas Liam Connors is going for that MMA style, almost the polar opposite. No flash, all meat and potatoes, no garnishes on that one. And Fancy Dan is really tying up the arms here, almost trying to beat Liam Connors at his own game, trying to tie him up like a pretzel and maybe go for a submission. Fancy Dan did get a win in that triple threat with a submission. That's how he beat Pedro Loco at the pay-per-view. Rolls out there, but gets caught with these series of clotheslines. Fancy Dan gets some shots to the head, maybe making him a little woozy there. And another shot to the head. Oh, and a spinning jump knee. Liam Connors could be on the fast track to winning this match. That is 3, 4, 5 repetitive shots to the head in the last 30 seconds. This could be it. And Fancy Dan manages to kick out. Especially after a brutal match last week, to kick out of a bunch of shots there to the head is quite impressive from Fancy Dan. Liam Connors was not in action last week, but Fancy Dan was. He was in that 10-minute Champions Challenge match against Dirty Don, and that will take it out of you when you're going 10 minutes with the champ. You're not coming into this match at 100%. You might be 95, you might be 90. But last week Liam Connors had the week off. He had the night off to recover a little bit. So he's coming in fully trained, fully prepared. But Fancy Dan might be a little worn down. Speaking of getting worn down, just slamming him on that spine and then stretching him out, throws him off. Oh, and just telling him there, just telling him that he thinks he should have been able to be in that Champions Challenge match. And I will say, to Liam Honor's credit, he does have that submission and MMA background, and he may have actually stylistically fared better against Dirty Don than Fancy Dan would have. Fancy Dan really came out in sort of a breakout performance for himself last week against Dirty Don. But I think after that grueling match that Dirty Don had at the pay-per-view in that Butcher's Brawl match, I think someone like Liam Connors with his submission MMA background might have been able to catch Dirty Don potentially in a submission. And a big cat and mouse game here. In and out from Liam Connors and Fancy Dan. I don't know who's playing the metal games and who's getting the better of the metal games on that one, but both men going in and out, and here with the shotgun drop kick. Whiplash effect on the back of the neck. And I thought Liam Connors might try and go more for the submission game on this one, but it looks like he's trying to target Fancy Dan's head with those strikes and that kick. Maybe going a little strike heavy in his training this past week. Oh my god! Off the top rope, went for the big splash, and then an immediate kip up. That was sick. And that's what these two men are bringing out here tonight. They're pulling out all the stops. Oh, the big alley-oop there. They're pulling out all the stops, so even if he gets hit, he comes right back up with that kip up. But another big shot. Fancy Dan's head has got to be pounding. He's got to have a brutal headache already in this match, but he's got to power through. Oh! 2.99. I don't blame Liam Connors for being a little mad at the ref on that one. But with all those shots to the head, he being Liam Connors, is getting closer and closer to that pinfall. Back body drop. And now he's going for the arm. Really wrenching on it. And Dirty Don was doing some submission moves last week, so smart to keep playing off of the groundwork that a competitor before he has already done. Dirty Don was going for some moves last week, some submissions, trying to wear out the clock. He was attacking the arms, the legs. He was attacking really everywhere on Fancy Dan. And you can never underestimate the damage done by a submission, so smart by Liam Connors to go for the arm, to go for different submissions, but he's opting to go for those high-impact maneuvers again. It seems like Liam Connors is finding that it's paying more dividends going for the shots, the big heavy moves as opposed to the submissions. But there's only so many moves the human body can take when you're getting kicked directly into the head. Could this be it? 1, 2, and a kick out again. And I mean, both these men are about 200 pounds, but they're throwing kicks like he's doing Crow Cop style kicks as Liam Connors. And as we see in MMA regularly, there's only so many kicks you can take before you get pinned. And a big shot there and a big Fancy Dan moonsault. Could this be it? And it is. He gets him. It was shot after shot to the head of Fancy Dan for this whole match. But he did a shot to the head to Liam Connors, followed up with that big cartwheel into the moonsault. And that is it.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Fancy Dan.
Go back to the dressing room, get some aspirin and ice that head, but you earned the victory, kid. Congratulations to Fancy Dan picking up a huge win here tonight over a very game Liam No Honor Connors. And we have an elimination tag team match here tonight. Amir Man throwing out the challenge to an elimination tag. The Brotherhood have accepted, and a smart move there. Grizzly Mac was not pinned, and in an elimination tag, you're going to have to pin him if you want to win. Who's coming out on top tonight? Grizzly Mac and Amir taking on the Brotherhood.
Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 495 pounds, the Future, Cameron Lewis and Isaac Taylor, the Brotherhood.
And here they are, Cameron Lewis and Isaac Taylor of the Brotherhood. Anytime a challenge is issued to them, they are not backing down. Elimination tag match coming up here now.
Making their way to the ring, the team of Amir Man and Grizzly Mac.
And here they are, Amir Man and Grizzly Mac, 2-1 tag team record, with their only loss being to the Brotherhood at the Breakout pay-per-view. They're looking to remedy that here tonight. The bell has rung, the match is underway. Amir Man and Grizzly Mac taking on Cameron Lewis and Isaac Taylor of the Brotherhood. We saw earlier tonight the challenge was thrown out there, an elimination tag team match, and the Brotherhood have accepted. At the BCW Breakout pay-per-view a few weeks ago, it was the Brotherhood taking on Amir Man and Grizzly Mac in a standard tag team match. We had Cameron Lewis pinning Amir to win that match. But Amir, you got to give him credit for his smarts and his intelligence. Knowing that he was the one pinned, it wasn't Grizzly Mac, so issuing an elimination tag team challenge here tonight. I think Amir thinks that Grizzly Mac is, well, he said he can't be beaten, and Grizzly Mac has been very impressive ever since making his debut. He's had that claw submission hold, which he's been winning matches with, and he's just been devastating in all his maneuvers. He is so strong, and he's really the perfect tag team partner. So a smart move by Amir Man to issue an elimination match where if the Brotherhood want to win, they have to 100% beat Grizzly Mac, and if he's, by all intents and purposes, unbeatable, it's a smart maneuver. So we're going to see what happens here tonight. And Amir Man making that tag into Grizzly Mac. He's had enough. And that's really been the strategy of Amir and Grizzly Mac, is to let Grizzly Mac into the ring, get him to do probably about 80% of the wrestling, and then have Amir Man come in here and there just to give him a breather or just to pick up the scraps. And it's an unorthodox strategy. You usually don't have a tag team be so shifted to one side, but I mean, it's been working for him up until now, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Grizzly Mac has been absolutely brutal with all the moves he's been doing. He is a powerhouse. He's got the submissions. And he's not just a big strong, dumb competitor. He is quite smart too when it comes to having a game plan in wrestling, probably given to him by Amir, but he's always making the tags when he needs to get out and catch his breath. He's making the saves anytime Amir's in and he's getting pinned, so he's not just a big, dumb, strong competitor that Amir is using as purely a weapon. He is a really smart competitor in the tag team division, and between that and his strength, he's really the perfect tag team partner. And he's showing it here. Was facing Cameron Lewis, and I was just taking it to Isaac Taylor. And Grizzly Mack and Isaac Taylor, they faced a few weeks ago in a one-on-one. Big overhead belly-to-belly suplex there. They faced each other in a one-on-one match with Grizzly Mack coming out on top. Oh, what a huge clothesline. Flattening him out like a pancake. That was a huge clothesline right there. Now Isaac Taylor still down. We haven't seen that before from Grizzly Mack, but that maneuver did a lot of damage. And really, when you're that strong, like, look at the musculature on Grizzly Mack. He's got those huge legs, those huge calves, that huge upper body. So just to take all that muscle power and just run right at Isaac Taylor and hit him with a clothesline, not a bad maneuver if you're trying to deal damage, which he is. And another clothesline there. Speaking of clotheslines, that is some high impact. Isaac Taylor throws him in the corner. Cameron Lewis not there. Is he going to go to try and tag in Amir? And he does. What double team maneuver is this going to be? A big kick to the face. Isaac Taylor tried to make the tag out, but was unsuccessful. And this is a huge match for both tag teams here. In the main event last week, it was the Brotherhood coming up short against the Game Changers. You know the Brotherhood want another shot at the World Tag Team titles. And if you can beat a team like Amir Man and Grizzly Mack here tonight, it for sure gets you closer to being able to do that. Whereas on the flip side of the coin, Amir Man and Grizzly Mack, they want to prevent the Game Changers from being the tag team champions. Amir Man has said that multiple times in previous interviews. So for them to win this tag match here tonight, to move up the ranks to potentially get a tag title match, it would be huge for them. Isaac Taylor goes for the cover. 2, and Grizzly Mack breaks it up, but he takes out the ref as well. And that just plays to what I was saying before, where Grizzly Mack is the perfect tag team partner. Oh, but he goes for the cover there, and the ref is still down. Looks like Isaac Taylor would have kicked out anyways, but you don't want to add the fuel to the fire of Amir Man going to complain to management that they had him beaten, the referees weren't in position. So as I mentioned, big stakes here tonight for both tag teams. The tag team division is heating up. We got a lot of teams in BCW, and they all want a challenge for those World Tag Team titles. And you got to think that Amir Man and Grizzly Mack and the Brotherhood are right near the tippy top of the tag team rankings. So this match could go a long way to pole vaulting one of these teams into a #1 contendership status. Big drop kick there from Amir, and another one. And a big crossbody. And then right on his face or neck there. What does Amir have planned? Is he going to do something, or is he going to go to tag Grizzly Mack? Reversal there. Amir Man, he's the wily veteran. He's slippery. It looks like he's going for something in the corner here. Is it his running blockbuster? And it is, and he hits it, creating a whiplash effect on that running blockbuster. Oh, and just showing off here. For sure, don't think that's a smart maneuver. You want to beat Isaac Taylor if you get half the chance. Looked like he was going for that driver, where he grabs his opponent's hand and just fires it right into the mat. almost similar to like an RKO type maneuver, but more when he has his opponent's face just plant right into the mat. And throws him outside here. Isaac Taylor in the wrong part of the ring here. He does not want to be in the red corner. He wants to, if he's going to take him outside, take him to his corner. So it was a 2-on-1 there on the outside there momentarily. And Amir Man smartly makes the tag out. The athleticism of Grizzly Mac, having a man that big and that muscular do a move that athletic. Wow. We've seen that move from them before, but it doesn't get any less impressive every time we see it. Ginormous headbutt. Wow. That could have been a knockout shot. It's a good thing Isaac Taylor has such a big, thick head, because that move could have knocked out a normal man. And a back rake. Don't know how much damage it did through that costuming, but this is doing a lot of damage here. He's won matches with this one.
Isaac Taylor has been eliminated.
It's a submission no one has gotten out of yet. Isaac Taylor has been eliminated. Well, that is huge. Amir Man and Grizzly Mac get the first elimination, and all they got to do now is beat Cameron Lewis. Amir on the apron must be just loving this. He hates Cameron Lewis. I'm sure he wants him to get beaten and feel as much pain as he can. And this would be quite the thing if Amir Man and Grizzly Mac can beat Cameron Lewis now and beat him 2-0. But I would not count out Cameron Lewis, because he's got moves like this. Boom! All that force, all that momentum, creating a whiplash on the neck of Grizzly Mac. Can he be the first one to beat him too? No. Cameron Lewis, while he is lacking in the size and the power and the strength department, he makes up for it in the speed, agility, and the high flying, but that's a huge headbutt. And Amir content to not even get in there and beat up the man that he hates, Cameron Lewis, content to let Grizzly Mac do all the work. Huge bicycle kick. I've said it before, but the human body can only take so much. And is he going for that big claw again? No, opts for that huge clothesline. This could be it. And 3. Amir Man and Grizzly Mac win 2-0. Neither one of them was eliminated, and I think that was Amir's strategy. If he let Grizzly Mac stay in there for about 80% of the match, then there was no chance that Amir would get pinned like he was at the pay-per-view, and it was a smart strategy. That claw eliminated Isaac Taylor, and then that huge clothesline eliminated Cameron Lewis.
Here is the winner of the match, the team of Amir Man and Grizzly Mac.
Well, like him or not, congratulations to Amir Man and Grizzly Mac. there we have it. Tofik, Kensho, Jason Shields, and Victor Payne are the 4 men that will be competing tonight in the main event. Moving on to our next matchup here, we have Xander facing Tony Rizzo. Xander is facing Jacob Akane next week in that Beyond Rules match, but he's getting some experience here tonight against a huge competitor in Tony Rizzo, who's very similar to size and stature of Jacob Akane. Who's going to come out on top here tonight?
Fighting out of the blue corner, Mr. Tony Rizzo.
Tony Rizzo making his way to the ring here tonight, competing one-on-one in a singles match against Xander here. And Xander went to BCW management earlier today and requested a matchup against a larger opponent similar in size and stature to Jacob Akane. And BCW management obliged, able to find Tony Rizzo, a big, huge, strong competitor. We're going to see if Xander can get it done.
Fighting out of the red corner, he stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 210 pounds. He is a hardcore and deathmatch wrestler who brings over 10 years of experience to the ring. From parts unknown, he is the hardcore icon, Xander.
Match is underway. Xander versus Tony Rizzo, and Xander coming out hot with that big kick. And Tony Rizzo all power. I think when Xander faced Jacob Akane at the BCW Breakout pay-per-view and came out on the losing end of that match, I think he was surprised by the size and the power of Jacob Akane. Xander has faced larger opponents in his career, but I think it was just too much. So we challenged Jacob Akane next week to a match with no rules, to a match where weapons are legal and encouraged, which is right up Xander's alley. I'm assuming Xander thinks that that will close the gap between himself and Jacob Akane, because Jacob Akane was like a freight train. Every competitor he's faced, he just looks indestructible. So I think Xander is going to try and use some of those weapons next week to try and close the gap and defeat Jacob Akane. But here tonight, he wanted a matchup against a big competitor to get some experience, to try and solve the riddle that is the size and the power. but he hasn't figured it out yet. Tony Rizzo has just been all power moves. So if Xander can't make it past Tony Rizzo here tonight, I don't think he's going to make it past Jacob Akane next week. He will have those weapons at his disposal. It will for sure be Xander's playground next week in that Beyond Rules match. But he's got to figure out a solution to the size and the power of larger competitors. Otherwise, there's a lot of big competitors here in BCW. So if you can't figure out the formula to defeat the big men, he's not going to have much of a career here in BCW. Goes for the pin, checks his progress. Only a 1. But the thing about Xander, as we've seen at the pay-per-view and in previous weeks in every matchup in BCW that he's competed in, Xander is the most durable competitor on the roster. I can't think of anyone that is more durable than him. Maybe Benson Hicks. Benson Hicks has showed some amazing durability. But Xander, with his deathmatch experience and his hardcore nature, he feels pain, but I don't think he cares. I think it's one of those, he just works through it. He has the mental fortitude to get past that pain. Oh, he's just biting him here. And we haven't talked about ruthless streaks, but biting the face there, and with his hardcore weapon background, maybe Xander is the one that has the most brutal of a streak in him, the biggest mean streak perhaps. But what does Tony Rizzo have here? Set him up in the corner, about to use all that weight to crash down on the sternum. Sits down on it, could have broke a rib there. Tony Rizzo is over the 300-pound mark. Goes for the pin. Only gets a 2 count there. Tony Rizzo over the 300-pound mark. Xander just a little over the 200-pound mark, so giving up about 100 pounds, I would say, to Tony Rizzo. And Xander just going rapid fire there, hitting him and then hitting him with the kick. Picks him up and goes for some shots to the face. Gets a little momentum. And the Bulldog. Whips him in the corner. What does he have planned here? Oh, he's going for that knee brace to the back. Xander's used that knee brace to win in almost every single one of his matches. Could this be it? Only a 2 count there. Xander has that brace, which I think he purely uses as a weapon. We haven't seen any signs that he has any knee injuries or knee damage. He's going for that mark of Xander. Was he in the ropes though? Nope. 2. Ooh, Tony Rizzo just kicks out. I think he might have been in the ropes, but referee didn't see it, but it's a moot point. He kicks out anyway. But Xander, we haven't seen any signs that he has any injuries or damage or any mobility problems with his knee, so I think he's using that brace with that metal and that hard plastic as a weapon. We've seen him, as we just saw him hit Tony Rizzo in the back of the neck with that. We've seen him do the Codebreaker style maneuver where he puts that knee brace right to the face of his opponents. We've seen him jump off the ropes and hit him right in the back of the neck. So even in a match where weapons are not legal, Xander still finds a way to use a weapon somehow. But he's getting tossed around like a rag doll. Tony Rizzo goes for the pin, all that weight on the chest. Only a 2. Shot there. It looks like Tony Rizzo's head is hurting. And right there again with the knee brace to the face. Could this be it? And it is. The knee brace pays dividends again for Xander. Using the weapon even when weapons are not legal. Having that metal and that hard plastic of that brace right to the face of Tony Rizzo. And he uses it to get the pinfall victory. I guess Xander did figure out the formula for the big men. He attacked Tony Rizzo's head for most of this match, and in the end it was one big maneuver away from shutting him down. So, and this was the precursor right there. Boom! It's the shots you don't see coming that do the most damage, and that was a shot he did not see coming. It didn't get the win off that one, but it weakened him up for some of these other moves, like the Marca Xander. He saw that one coming, but just had no answer for it, but just barely kicking out. And then it was that code breaker at the end with that brace just smashing right into his face. That picked up the victory for Xander. You'd crush an orbital going that way.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Xander.
He is on the fast track to next week for that Beyond Rules match. Oh, and what are we at here? And his head is hurting, as we said. It was just too much damage to the head. Xander's got the ladder there. No! Right to the head. Tony Rizzo could be on the shelf after a maneuver like that. It looked like it busted him open, too. And he picks him up. Xander showing his strength. Right on the ladder. Rocking Tony Rizzo's spine. This is it. Just leave him alone now. The damage has been done.
The following is your BCW television main event and will be a four-way match.
And we have a breakdown of our four competitors. First off, Jason Shields, undefeated in BCW. He's competed mostly in tag team matches, but in BCW Week 7, he defeated The Tool in a singles match. Jason Shields has looked highly impressive in every outing we've seen him in. And speaking of impressive, Victor Payne, he's 5-0. He's defeated Fancy Dan. He's defeated all three members of the BCW Dojo and then beat them in a 6-man tag just last week. Next up we have Kensho, 6-0, competing in tag team singles and a 6-man tag team match last week. He has been absolutely impressive with his Kaiju Killer knee strike. And speaking of impressive, we have Tofik, a similar record to Kensho. He has been very impressive with his Burning Hammer finisher. It has been taken out opponents left and right, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can implement that here tonight. But in our main event, it will be a 4-man over-the-top rope battle royal, where the winner is the #1 contender for the BCW World Heavyweight title.
The following is a 4-man battle royal, where the winner of the match will be the new #1 contender for the BCW World Championship. Making their way to the ring, Taufik, Kensho, Jason Shields, Victor Payne.
And our main event is underway. Taufik, Victor Payne, Kensho, and Jason Shields in an over-the-top rope battle royal to see who will be facing Dirty Don for his world title. We got a lot of moving parts in this match, and we're going to try and keep up with it. So far, we have Taufik and Victor Payne in the bottom left corner there, and we have Kensho and Jason Shields. Kensho and Jason Shields is a very intriguing matchup. Both men so adept at kicks. Could just be a kick battle, as we see there. Jason Shields going for the kicks. Whereas on the opposite side with Taufik and Victor Payne, it is all power. It is big, huge, meaty men. Very tall, very muscly, very huge. Victor Payne goes about almost 7 foot. He's about 6'9". He's about 375. Taufik is over that 300-pound mark. He's about 6'4". And he's showing his strength there. Going for the edge of Valhalla. Right on Victor Payne. Now switching it up, Jason Shields. Not a bad maneuver to go after the biggest man in the match. And Kensho just chopping down Victor Payne. Take the biggest guy and get him on the mat. You do not want Victor Payne being able to use his size and power to pick you up, because he could throw you right over the top rope. But Victor Payne's on the ropes. Could he be taken over? No, Kensho opts to take out the knee. It's a bit of a double-edged sword when you take out the legs of a big man in a battle royal, because a big man can use those legs to pick you up and throw you out. But at the same time, if you damage his legs too much and he can't stand up, there's no way you're going to be able to pick him up to get him over the top rope. I think it would be a smart maneuver if all three men sort of teamed up. Oh, and Taufik there, getting all caught up in the ropes. Manages to find some way to get back into the ring so he's not eliminated. Oh, and Kensho almost eliminated there. Kensho was up and over but did not hit the ground, was able to go on the apron. Jason Shields there with a beautiful Northern Light suplex. But as per pretty much every battle royal that we've ever seen, I think it would behoove the competitors to go after Victor Payne, do a double or triple team maneuver, get the biggest man out, and then after that, go from there. The other X factor of this match is we have Kensho and Taufik, who have been teaming up the last few weeks. I don't think they are two men that would team up just to get eliminations. I think they go into this match putting their friendship aside just so they can see who the best man is will win in this match. But if there's an opportunity to get out a competitor through a double team move, I don't think they would fight that either. And the leaping tombstone there. But I don't think they sort of have a new friendship. They haven't really solidified and coalesced themselves as a full tag team yet, so I think it's just more of they've been winning tag matches, so keep it going, but they're not a formal tag team. They came in here not even knowing each other before they were hired to BCW, so I don't think their allegiances run super deep. Oh, and a big kick there. Jason Shields eliminated.
Jason Shields has been eliminated.
Kensho out of nowhere with that big kick to Jason Shields, eliminating him right over the top rope. And we got three of the three biggest men in the match left. Jason Shields, though, one half of the BCW World Tag Team Champions, gets eliminated, but he does have his tag team titles to focus on, but it would not hurt to add the world title to his resume, but not today. Gets eliminated first in this four-way matchup. 3 competitors left, looking to be 2 with that big knee smash. And as I was saying there, Kensho and Tofik not opposed to fighting each other. They have that warrior spirit where they just want to find out who is the best. When the bell rings, friendships get put aside. We got Tofik there going after the knees again of Victor Payne. Kensho has taken some heavy damage, especially after that big brutal knee to the face, and he is out on the apron, so it looks to be Tofik and Victor Payne right here. He's got him on the ropes. He's going to try and knock him over. The strength there, just military pressing him. Can he get him over the top? And he can!
Victor Payne has been eliminated.
Victor Payne eliminated by Tofik, and Kensho is just now getting back up. He is woozy. They both meet in the middle of the ring, and Kensho gets the better of that exchange in that leaping tombstone. But Kensho is hurting real bad. And he's got him in the big kick. Kensho wins.
Tofik has been eliminated.
Kensho is your new #1 contender. Big super kick over the top. And let's, as we look at the replay, hit him with that super kick. And that was all she wrote.
Here is your winner and new #1 contender for the BCW World Championship, Kensho.
Congratulations to Kensho on a hard-fought match, eliminating Jason Shields and lastly eliminating Tofik to become the new #1 contender. Alright, and our first match of the night was Benson Hicks and Byron Cassidy defeating Hard Limit in a tag team opener. Our next match was a singles match with Fancy Dan defeating Liam No Honor Connors in a fast-paced matchup between 2 young competitors. Next up, we had an elimination tag team match. Grizzly Mac and Amir Man eliminated both Isaac Taylor and Cameron Lewis to go 2-0 in that elimination tag team match. Then we had Xander defeating Tony Rizzo in a match that saw a brutal post-match attack on Tony Rizzo, busting him open, hitting him with that ladder. Xander moves on to next week. And in the main event, as we just saw, Kensho defeated Jason Shields, Victor Payne, and Tofik in a 4-man battle royal to become the new #1 contender for the BCW World title.